could carry a show because it's kind of cut and dry, but you never know. Poison Pixie Sticks. Ronald Clark O'Brien, was a father of a couple children, and he was deeply in debt, like over $100,000 in debt. And rather than go bankrupt like a normal person would do, or do other things, this guy took out large life insurance policies on his kids. And, Ronald O'Brien gave his 8-year-old son, Timothy, one last piece of candy before trick-or-treating ended for the night. And it was Pixie Sticks. Almost immediately after eating the Pixie Sticks, which, by the way, Ronald also handed out to 4 other kids, Timothy O'Brien, he started convulsing and died less than an hour later. The fucked up thing is Timothy had told him that it tasted bitter, and he gave him Kool-Aid to wash it down. So, like, he knew damn well there was something not right with this. Well, the death sent the O'Brien small Texas town into a panic. And, this is where all the fucking razor blades and candy bars and all that bullshit comes from. Vic, the whole idea of poisoning candy comes from this asshole.
This fella.
Yep. This, like I said, Timothy ate Pixie Sticks that were laced with cyanide. And this was in the early stages of cyanide. People hadn't really heard of cyanide like that back then.
That's crazy, man.
And at first, I don't know, something about this. At first, people thought it was a stranger who had poisoned Timothy. But when Ronald's story kept changing, he told him that they got it from this one house and he never saw who did it and all this bullshit. And basically, at the end of the day, you find out that, it was definitely him that gave out the Pixie Sticks. Police began investigating him. They found that he was over $100,000 in debt, like I said earlier. He'd taken out massive life insurance policies on his children. Police discovered that O'Brien had also given poison candy to his daughter and 3 other children in an attempt to cover up his crime. But none of his other children had eaten them. Thank God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
As we know, Ronald O'Brien, who was later nicknamed the Candy Man and the man who killed Halloween, was found guilty of murder, sentenced to death, and executed, as well he should be, in 1984. Thank you, Texas. You got it right. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker never confessed to it either.
He tried to fucking take away Halloween.
I mean, what a piece of shit move. You poison your own kids and then try to blame it on some fucking trick-or-treat bullshit? What a scumbag. I mean, like, of all the people we talked about, they're all scum, but this guy's a special type of scum.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what kind of horrible human being are you, bro?
You kill your own fucking kids with fucking poison Pixie Sticks. And from what I understand, cyanide poisoning's a painful death, So, what a piece of shit. And he is, I assume, in hell or wherever it is that he belongs. But, the funny thing is, I think he was almost executed on Halloween, but the governor at the time granted a stay and tried to say that he should just be in life for prison, and they had a committee down there that said, nah, fuck you. And they killed him anyway.
Why would they do anything but kill him?
Well, I can say that about Bideker, Norris, and all a bunch of these other bums. They should all fucking be dead. When you commit crimes like that, you have no reason on this earth anymore. And it's not a religious thing for me, because I don't give half a fuck, but...
Yep, for sure. Everybody but Ted Bundy, he should be alive.
Vic, let me ask you a question. Did you ever get anything in your candy as a kid, like, something that shouldn't have been there?
No, man. I always thought my mom did it, had to search it just so she could eat all my candy.
When I was a kid, I had glass in my Smarties. I didn't eat Smarties for a long time because of it.
That sucks. Maybe your dad put it there.
I doubt it. I don't think it would have killed me. It wasn't that type. It was more the type that would just hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Glass ain't gonna kill you.
I'll say I don't remember anything ever being found. I remember my mom searching through my candy every time. But I don't remember her finding anything.
Did you ever have the old man that gave you quarters or anything like that?
No, I had an old man give us pennies.
I think we had, nickels.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There was this guy in the village, and he was just a grumpy old fuck, so he just gave us shit like that.
Yeah, we had a grumpy old man in the projects. He gave everybody a bag of pennies. Not even rolled up, just a bag of pennies.
Keep talking to me. I'm heading upstairs to take the dogs out.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
being
he just
rapists.
give us a bag of pennies and blah, blah, blah. You know what else I hated on Halloween? Those stupid
What's
orange
that?
and brown black candy peanut butter things.
That's like my wife's favorite candy.
I don't understand it, man. Like, there's this chick at work that loves them, man. I don't get it because they're horrible.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even think I ever bothered to eat it.
Like, Corey likes them, actually. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know, like,
he's black, though.
I
He
can
doesn't
eat
know
them
any
and be done. Well, yeah, he don't, because it's poor people candy.
Is that what it is? Because it is the cheapest candy you could buy, I think. I don't even ever
Yeah.
see it anymore.
The Dollar General sells them. They're like $100 a bag for $1.
Aren't they like peanut butter?
Yeah, they're peanut butter, like, I mean, yeah, they're just like peanut butter, like balls or whatever.
I'd be pissed off about that in Tootsie Rolls. Look, I don't hate Tootsie Rolls or anything, but who the fuck wants a Tootsie Roll?
Yes, they're stupid. Give me a candy bar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
give
what
me
a
some
shithead
Skittles,
thing to give me.
I
I don't want a goddamn Tootsie Roll.
Yes. I don't care
Tootsie
for
Rolls
the
are
bigger
shitty
ones.
candy. They're not bad.
They
like
are.
I said, they're just not. They're not very good.
Yeah, they piss me off.
So I hear you
Like,
hate
I mean,
Dots.
I eat Tootsie Rolls, but it's stupid.
As I
Yeah,
understand it, you hate Dots. Is that true?
Do what?
You hate Dots?
Yeah, I mean, they're not good.
I love Dots.
I guess you saw me talk about Post Settle Blake's dog thing.
Yeah, I like Dots. I think they're good.
Like, I mean, I don't like hate them per se, but I don't eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just don't think they're very good. Just like Mike and Lake, I don't like those.
I like those too. But Vic, I told you I like everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that shit. I'm good with that. No, I remember whenever I was a kid, Milk Duds were a big thing we'd always fucking get at Halloween, you know? Not that I love them, because they're a pain in the ass.
I don't like.
I could feel my teeth coming out.
I mean, they're okay, but
yeah, they're okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I could feel my teeth coming out every time I ate Milk Duds. Jesus Christ, they're hard to eat.
Yeah, like I don't care. I mean, they're okay. Like I said, they're okay, but I don't really care for them or Whoppers.
You know, it's funny you bring up Whoppers.
I always get them. Well,
it's funny you bring up Whoppers because I love Whoppers, but I can't eat them anymore.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, they're malt, aren't they?
Yep, they're malt. That's right. I can't have them anymore. Same reason I can't have like Frosted Flakes because they have malt.
Yep. That sucks.
Zero, get your retarded ass in here.
That's special.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you should be used to by now, I guess.
I guess this is the segment of the program where I'll ask you the question. What have you been watching, buddy? I know you watched a little bit. It's the one we got to talk about.
I watched Boo 2 for Madea, and it was actually pretty damn funny. It was way better than I thought it would be because I had no expectations for it. But Movie Pass told me to go watch it, so I did. And well, I mean, I guess the big one is we watched Jigsaw.
Yeah, we did. We did. We saw it opening night, 9:30 p.m. on Thursday, and it wasn't that busy, which made me sad. Apparently, Jigsaw came in first, but it was like a disappointing first, from what I understand, in the box office. Previews are a little strange when you look at them, and they ended up being what you feared, Vic, because you were worried about not having enough gore. I would say check. You were right about that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think the gore was the weakest of the series.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%.
I mean, most of the gore was post-mortem. Like, it was usually a dead body type thing.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. While it looks cool, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't do anything to make me cringe. There wasn't much in this that made me cringe at all. Also, while I was watching the movie, and this is the negatives that I'm getting into. When I was watching the movie, it felt like I was not watching a Saw movie because it was too clean. The Saw movies always had like a fog or a dinginess to them. This one did not. And I looked it up later on, and apparently the trivia says that it was shot with a different type of camera. So that explains a lot. That this movie just it was a Saw movie for a different generation, but it never felt like torture porn to me at all.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's like, whenever I say the new Leatherface movie, what, the Texas Chainsaw movie, or people say Halloween 3 isn't a Halloween movie, like, it falls in that category for me. Every other Saw, you knew it was part of the franchise. You know what I'm saying? If this didn't have Jigsaw in it, or wasn't named Jigsaw, like, you wouldn't really even think that it was a Saw movie. You know what I'm saying? That sound accurate to you?
Yeah, it does. And the previews, people said, it's their own fault with the previews. They made it look like a hillbilly slasher or something. It did not look like a Saw movie. Not really. The only thing that made you think it was Saw was the puppet, and the fact that you hear Jigsaw's voice.
I mean, if it didn't have the puppet in it, then, like, it's not a Saw movie. Like, they were low on the gore. There was no torture porn. But, I mean, with all that being said, I liked it. I think you liked it. I want to go see it again. I know you want to go see it again because I want to, like, watch it without the expectations that I had the first time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we just have to completely change it from, like when I talk about Halloween, the remake, that's not Michael Myers, but it's a hell of a slasher. I even said that about Jason Goes to Hell. If you can take it out of the Friday the 13th series, it's a pretty good slasher. It's just that's not Jason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep, no doubt.
Well, this thing goes off the beaten path from the series altogether. This is the first entry that has two directors. It's the first film in the series, and this is a big disappointment, too. Since the first one that does not feature an opening death trap. I know you and I were both expecting something good at the start, and we got nothing.
Yeah, I was pretty bad. For real. Like, I was so let down with the beginning of the movie. I even told you going into it that all I really wanted was a great opening scene.
We didn't get that at all.
No, I was pretty upset.
We got a bullshit mystery to start things. And this is the first sequel in the Saw series not to feature footage from the previous films.
Yeah.
And again, it just did not... It felt like a remake in a way.
It was kind of like a spin-off of Saw. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was named Jigsaw, not Saw 8 or whatever. Because it was like a spin-off of the original series.
Because it wasn't a Saw. It was a Jigsaw. It was a different thing. I feel like It was made for the millennials.
It was Saw for the millennials.
For these pussies who couldn't handle it.
Yeah, people get offended by the gore and shit. But with that being said, when there's a Saw 9, I'll go out and watch it.
Yep, and look, and let me be fair, too, okay? Let's be fair about this. If it wasn't an entry into the Saw series, it would still be a fun movie. And it was a fun movie. It wasn't bad, not by any means, but it didn't live up to the Saw standards, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean...
That's really the biggest problem it had going for it, is that it had the predecessors. I know the predecessors had their problems, but overall, you had some expectations what the movie should bring you, and this one just didn't give you those things. And that's what hurt this movie, I think, for the audiences, me included. But again, there was a hot chick in there who should have gotten naked. She was hot.
Yeah.
Well, good Lord. So let's talk a little bit about, check this out, Vic. It now is at a 6.3 on IMDb. When it first came out, it had a 7, so it's dropped 0.7. But compare that to the Saw series, and 6.3 is higher than everything except for Saw 2 and the first one, which I assume it's going to drop some more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it'll probably land about a 5.7, 5.8.
So that would put that higher than the last one and right about where Saw 5 is and maybe Saw 4, somewhere around there. So, I don't know. Saw 3 is too high if you ask me, so I get it. That's all.
It is, and speaking of Saw 3, I would like to say that this movie is probably better than Saw 3.
Not as much gore, but
not as much
better.
gore, no. But the movie itself, I feel, is better than Saw 3. So, which means it is not the worst movie in the franchise. But it's not better than any other one, I don't think.